Hey everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Giant Blue Podcast. I'm your host Jack. Alongside me is Felix Baker on the DJ and the mics and stuff, and Sean Guy, and for the first time, our special guest, Caitlin Guy.
Yay! Hello.
How you doing? Hey, Kate. Yay!
Yay!
We're not actually related. We just have the same last name. It was the most random coincidence. We just found her like 15 minutes ago.
We are related.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yes, I'm a fan. No.
Oh, so sweet.
The biggest fan.
Biggest fan. Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
What do you
Pleasure
do,
to be
Caitlin?
here. I work at the cinema, so I have inside knowledge.
Inside knowledge. You said that in one of the podcasts.
Yeah, he did.
You were like, I know about the Wonder Woman gross
You
domestic.
learn the demographics and things. You get some like sort of
really?
stuff. Yeah.
Do they teach you that kind of
No.
stuff?
No.
But you just
He saw the
gist
people
of it.
coming out of the cinema and was like,
Apparently no.
oh, I know who's been watching it.
Yeah.
Like, that one was busy.
So, any housekeeping notes, you guys? Anything you need to cover?
there was one of the movies that I was embarrassed to watch. My guilty pleasures.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you guys ever watch Stick It with Kirsten Stewart?
Is that a
The
cheerleader film?
gymnastic one?
I have
no,
seen
okay.
that.
I really enjoyed
What's
that
wrong
movie.
with that? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All those
I just
movies
didn't
are fine.
expect. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I linked
Take it back,
you guys
not a guilty
the,
pleasure.
That meme of like, it's like the It chronological order, and it's like It.
That's
it
what
follows,
reminded
It comes
me.
at night, bring it on.
Yes.
And then like,
It
and then
didn't have
It
Stick It,
something,
did it?
And then maybe I
I
think
think it might have,
that's what
yeah.
triggered it. I
That
was
could
like,
you-
Yeah.
add it, stick it. Yeah.
I really fucking love that movie. Yeah, it's got a pretty good soundtrack.
The only
If
thing
I
I want. Sorry.
If I think cheerleader movies, I always go Fired Up. It's the best one.
Fighter.
Isn't that the
Fi-
one that
Fired
came
Up.
after Bring
Fired
It On?
up. That's good.
No, it's like a
no.
parody of all those films. Like two straight dudes go to cheerleading camp and just sleep with everyone.
That's effed up. That's FU, isn't it?
Yeah, Fired
Fired
Up.
Up.
That's what it stands for.
Oh, fired up. I think you said fighter. Sorry.
No, Fired
Fired
Up.
Up.
F-U. What does it spell? Fired Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. That's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I'll
Sorry.
check it out.
Anyway, what were you
I
going
was
to say?
looking at that not too long ago because I remember like one of the boys who's meant to be in high school is like 38 or something.
Yeah.
Like he's an old man. Like he's like they were like we needed to quickly wrap up before he aged anymore. Yeah. The only note I had was that because we went to see Lego Ninjago, but we saw it at the new Gateway Cinema, which is
Shout
an
out.
awesome cinema. It's probably the
That's
best cinema
where
I've ever
I
been to. It's a really nice cinema. Well, I've not been to the new Chancellor one in Melbourne after it closed down and then reopened. Like that one, I'm sure is very fancy, but this one's really, really nice.
It's cool.
And it's funny because a lot
I'll
of the
be there
Melbourne
tomorrow
ones,
night.
like they're very artsy ones.
What are you watching
But
tomorrow night?
artsy doesn't mean good. Like they're like, oh, it's like vintage, and like they haven't updated it since like the 60s or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Which means all the chairs suck and it's uncomfortable, and you can feel the wiring in your back as
Retro.
you're watching some like black and white French.
Oh, it's
film.
like I'm back in the
Yeah.
90s. Yay!
This
I'm
is
really-
great.
I'm feeling the heat. Anyway, should we move on to topics?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. As you know, on the Giant Blue Podcast, we all bring topics to the table and pitch them at each other. These topics can be, doesn't matter what they be, as long as they're sort of movie related. And Caitlin, as our
Very
guest, would you like to go
slightly.
first?
Sure.
Okay.
Hit
Okay.
us, Ken.
Well, we all love our fictional movies, right? I think that's sort of your areas.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what fictional school, would you have loved to go to? And I'm trying to.
Okay, I see why.
Sky High.
I was going to say Sky High, and so are you.
We're not.
You're all looking at my list.
Nah.
Oh, sorry. I won't look. Sorry. I actually didn't.
Before you
at it.
even said it, I was like, Caitlin's going to say Sky High.
No, 'cause I
I'm
was
going to
like, in
say
my head,
Sky
like,
High.
obviously, I thought in my head what the go-to was Hogwarts. I'm like, everyone's going to say Hogwarts. I'm like, what's another school?
Yeah.
Yes,
didn't
Hogwarts
even think of
would be
Hogwarts.
awesome, but I mean, everyone.
I just read the
think-
entire list, so I didn't get to think.
Oh my
So
God.
is School of Rock on there?
No.
Oh,
okay, I
Jack
was trying to go with
Macmillan.
like actual, like special power slash like
How
ability.
many are there?
schools.
All right.
so like super schools.
Xavier's School for the gifted.
Yeah, I would go
youngsters.
Xavier's for sure.
I mean, you would have to be a mutant to go there.
Well,
I think as a
furthermore-
normal
But
kid,
if
it
you
would
are
suck.
there, if like you're in there, like you have to be a mutant. So you
That's right.
The only,
Is it like, you know when friendship groups have like the one fat kid or like the one like kid with the nerdy kid or whatever? Like,
That happened
like the
regardless.
mutant groups, like they're like, you know what we need? We need like a non-mutant kid in our
Yeah.
friendship group. And they have like Dave, and like they're like, Dave doesn't have a power.
he's the mutant one because everyone else is mutant. So
yeah,
like he's the
if
different
everyone
one.
has powers, no one's
Exactly.
special. or
That's
whatever.
his, yeah, he's like unique. And the girls,
He's just normal.
oh, you know they had those talks. High schoolers are like, oh my God, like, have you slept with like a non-mutant before? Like, have you slept with a mutant? It's like, I really want to have sex with a mutant. Like, wouldn't that be wild? You know? Or like a non-mutant, like, or something
Having
like that.
fantasies about Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I had fantasies about Nightcrawler anyway.
Well,
I love the awkward side.
He's a demon with a tail. Yeah.
He's a demon with a tail. No, okay, anyway, moving on from that.
Yeah. Okay. So
No, Jennifer
After a long, he
Lawrence,
could just
though.
vanish out of there and just completely disappear.
Jennifer Lawrence
she
could
could
be
be
anyone.
whoever you want her to be.
Okay, so this has gone from which
Okay,
high
yeah,
school do you
anyway,
most like to go to? Which
We've hijacked-
mutant would you most like
Wanna
to sleep with?
guys.
Stop doing this.
Caleb, what are some of the other schools you've got?
Well, I have some more, but I was also going to add to that part too. If you were going to go to that school, what special ability would you want to have?
Because it's like going to Hogwarts without a wand. Like if you weren't a wizard, or it's like going to Sky High if you're not a superhero.
Yeah, so that's no fun. So what superpower would you want if you were going? So what was you saying? Sky High
What are the
was your
schools?
favourite?
I don't know. So we got Sky High, Hogwarts.
Okay, so Sky High, Xavier's, Hogwarts, Star Trek Academy apparently is a thing.
it is
Jedi
big.
Academy, obviously, and Monsters University.
Monsters University.
That would be fun.
That would be
that was a
awesome.
monster.
That was a great movie.
What
So
monster would that
underrated.
be?
You know that big two-legged one? I like that guy.
The
dumb
giant?
one. Is he like really stupid or something? Like the one with the two legs that just walks around and his body's like in the
Oh,
center.
in like a big U?
He's big fluffy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go back to jail.
Yeah, that one.
I thought you meant the one that you just see his legs. He looks like
Yeah.
Big Bird in like the first
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Like the chicken from
And he
Jimmy
makes
Neutron.
chicken
Yeah,
noises.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Like,
giant one.
Rex, good morning. Yeah, that one. I always wanted to be a speedster, so I think if I went to like the X-Men school, I'd love to be like really quick, like
Okay,
Quicksilver
yeah.
or
But
something
Sky
like
High has a speedster too. He's badass. Him and
He's the bad
that. Well,
one?
Sky High.
They're the bad kids.
Yeah, the bad kid. He's like the speedster, and
The
then
other
there's
one's
the
the
other guy
stretchy
with like a
one.
whiplash and something.
He was
Whiplash and-
stretchy.
I feel like, but Sky High, I feel like the X-Men school. I feel they like their whole thing was like diversity and like acceptance. Whereas I feel like Sky High is like you're a hero or a sidekick.
Yeah.
You got a shitty power. You're a sidekick kind of thing. Like there's already
Super spit,
there's
sidekick.
There's already
Acid spit, superhero.
there's already like classism there.
Yeah, Sky High
okay.
was more like an actual school, but you know, like a typical
Yeah.
American high school with superpowers. Whereas Xavier's was just like a school for
I would go to
gifted
Sky
youngsters.
High just
Yeah.
for the bus to fly me to school every day. That was awesome.
It's like Magic School Bus. Is that a school? Does that count?
Well,
Can we get Magic School Bus?
I guess,
Yeah.
but none of the kids have superpowers. They just
True.
go
But
on.
wouldn't it be worth it just to hang out with Mrs. Frizzle?
And she's like, hey, let's go back in time. Or like, hey, let's shrink and go inside someone or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
She was tripping. She was tripping.
I agree. I feel like they were all on something.
All the kids, she's just laced all the kids.
With that-
Yeah.
Oh my
All the
God.
bus seats
The
and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
They're rebooting Magic School Bus
I think
for
they are,
Netflix
yeah.
or something
Really?
like that? And it's
Yeah.
like Kate
It's still
McKinnon.
animated.
Oh, you're
yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
Because it was quite educational, wasn't it?
Was
Like,
it
they
Kate
taught you
McKinnon?
things.
It's Kate McKinnon.
That's
Really?
She's like
awesome.
Agent. She's what's the teacher's name in Magic School Bus?
Miss-
Like Agent
Miss-
Frizzle.
someone.
Mrs.
Miss
Frizzle.
Frizzle.
This one's like Rizzle or something, which is
Oh,
like her,
because she says it's like her
or cousin
sister,
or something
yeah.
like that.
They
That's
mentioned
so
it in like the
cute.
trailer. It's like, oh, it's my
It's like
sister's
a yeah.
school bus.
'cause Netflix are like
Aw.
cool like that. They're sort of rebooting a lot of things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
they're doing a lot.
Is
did.
Magic School Bus 80s or 90s? Because we're just rebooting
I want to say
everything.
90s, but
Probably
we've got the
90s.
Yeah.
power of the internet here.
So what
can
was
look
your
it
main
up.
one that you wanted to go to, Caitlin?
well, I reckon Xavier's, but I mean, you can't go past Hogwarts as well.
Yeah.
don't
I
know
don't
if I'd
want to
wanna
say
go to
Hogwarts because it's so
Hogwarts.
mainstream, but then I do want to say it because it's so awesome.
Oh, you get like, yeah, you got all these magical
You get like
animals you
sorting
can ride.
mouths
Try to kill
and-
you.
Yeah.
But they don't have the medicine. No, Hogwarts would be awesome. I
Good
think as well.
point.
Yeah.
Good point.
I'm
It
trying
is
to think-
generic, but I think I agree.
Well, the
Hogwarts
other thing
Yeah.
that
would be the
Well,
most
the
fun.
Jedi
Because
Academy
you-
was there too.
What, you've got a lightsaber
Yeah.
and a little bit of the Force.
A little bit of the Force.
little
well,
bit.
like if you study and meditate, you can have a lot of the
Well,
Force.
if
If you're
go to Hogwarts and-
Metachlorians.
the Jedi Academy, I feel, is like quite. It's like the religious school though. It's like there's
Oh, yeah,
there's quite a lot of
definitely.
like
Yeah, yeah,
things you can and can't do. Hogwarts is pretty cool.
Imagine
and
going
quite
through
lenient.
puberty and having like Master Yoda say, "Now you cannot love," or "Love you cannot," or whatever he would say.
Yeah,
That would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
not Jedi.
Hogwarts.
The
Yeah.
only thing I think
No,
with
no
Hogwarts
Jedi.
is,
We're all cutting Jedi
like
out.
when did they teach those kids to like read and write and do
well,
math?
I
and
feel
stuff
like they
that?
don't.
Like is there like a primary
spell.
school,
They just, like-
for, like
Well, you
Zap
go
the
there when
kid's
you're
head
what,
and they're
10 or
smart.
11?
because Harry, I'm assuming went to normal school
Until he was.
until he got to 11, and then they shipped him off to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
So in that time, he obviously learned to read and write. Did Ron go to one of those things, or does his family just?
Oh,
teach
because he
him?
was entirely. That's what
Because he's a wizard. Like
point.
I feel like Hogwarts was his first year of school, unless there's some sort of like wizarding
Summer school
kindergarten,
or something.
yeah, or something like that.
Oh, okay. Before.
Surely they would just go to normal school because they don't get their letter
I bet it
until
was
they're
called
10,
Piglets.
is it? Or...
Yeah, maybe.
If there was like a piglet.
yeah.
Yeah, piglet instead of Hogwarts.
Oh,
Hogwarts.
that's so cute.
little baby
Piglets or something. Yeah.
Welcome to Piglets.
I think we've talked about this before as well. It's like I wish they sort of touched upon it a little bit with Fantastic Beasts, which is like there's like obviously like an American school, and it's like I want like more of the different schools.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be like an Australian school. Like there needs to totally be an Australian
Surely.
school, and like the
Like
pets would be
boomerang
like
shaped ones.
yeah, instead of an owl, you have like
shaped one.
instead of a toad, you'd have like a
just 'cause,
koala.
they can't make it
Yeah.
too Australian.
A boomerang one. Oh my
A
god.
didgeridoo broomstick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's not.
No, because it would be like
That's a
part of the
bad
culture. It would
Australian
be the sort of
stereotype.
different stuff. I think. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I think I would probably. I'm just torn between Sky High and Xavier's. I
Okay.
feel like Xavier's for the teachers. Like
Xavier's, you can have any power. Like, with the way that she's phrased the question, you could have any power going there. Whereas with Hogwarts, you have to be just
Yeah, that's the
magical.
thing. Yeah.
yeah, and because like
Same with
magic,
Sky
I mean
High, I
just
guess.
magic, like
Yeah.
that would suck.
Just a wizard, like can walk through
I'd
walls.
rather have nothing than magic.
Yeah.
Abracadabra, yeah. Just lets the first spell. Yeah.
Just killing
There's a meme like that. It's like Hermione's like, I know a spell to fix your glasses, Harry. Abracadabra. And then like it's like they do like a flash of green, and that's it. That's like then the credits roll off.
The end of the movies.
So what about School of Rock though?
Well, I
What about the
wasn't.
school that
As
Spider-Man
in
goes
School
to?
of Rock. What do you mean?
Well, mate,
like-
there's every school in every movie.
Yeah,
ever
that's.
been.
I was trying
yeah.
to
Stick it
narrow it
Academy.
down because otherwise there's like Grease School and Clueless School and like all those sort of
Oh,
things.
Grease School.
Mean
Those
Girls.
Mean Girls School.
High
yeah.
School Musical School.
See.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Just
How fun would that
endless.
be? Everyone
Musical
breaking out into
school.
song every fucking second.
Oh my god,
Amazing.
Awesome.
Tiffany just broke up with her boyfriend. Have you learnt the routine yet?
Have you learned the routine yet?
Yeah. Well.
Cameras all around the cafeteria.
No.
Yeah.
Stick to the Magic School
Yes.
Bus was 1994, so it was around about the
Okay.
time we were
cool.
born.
That's a good year. That's a good year.
Good year.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess it's just like just by nature of Hollywood, like it's just American schools. Then a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're also sort of like I wouldn't want to live in the school that was like they have such like the stereotypes, like
The
the
cliques.
jocks and like
Yeah.
the
The
popular
10 things
girls
I
or
hate
whatever.
about you, and those are the coffee guys.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's.
There's too many schools. But I was thinking because like at Spider-Man school, like in Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Stan Lee is the music teacher. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
If I had to not have a power, that would still be cool.
Oh well, that's a better question. That's well, not a better question. Sorry, I mean that's sorry. Like an add-on to
Yes.
the question is who's like a teacher then you would want?
Well, that's why I was I'm like leaning towards Xavier's because like I would go to
Yeah.
Xavier's just for Professor X.
Yeah, well,
Like,
yeah,
teach
and
me
Hogwarts has,
about-
like McGonagall
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
McGonagall, yeah, she's
McGonagall. Yeah,
Snape.
Dumbledore. But he wasn't really a teacher, was he?
he's just like the weird headmaster that just leaves you cryptic messages and stuff. Yeah,
He's cool though. He's cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
That's
cool.
a hard one to answer.
it's a hard one. It's a good
I think
que-
I'm
good
gonna
question,
go.
though. I think I'll go Xavier's.
Sky High is just like so fun and like
Yeah,
It's so
You know what I
fun.
mean?
It is,
Hogwarts,
yeah.
It was great.
you got to deal with these people that don't have noses
And
they're,
exams and stuff.
and exams.
The exams at Sky
Well,
High was like, hey, save this
fight this
crash
person.
test dummy from like
Yeah.
a
Yeah, that's
exploding
true.
school bus.
And you could be the bad guys if you wanted to.
yeah.
Whereas I feel like they don't let you do that in
Sky High 2
Hogwarts.
should be like the villains or
What do you
something.
mean?
That'd
They
be
have a
cool.
whole house that's evil. It's Slytherin.
Not the whole house is evil.
They're all
They don't
evil.
let them like oh here's all the really evil spells, guys. But these guys like in Sky High, they're saying oh you guys can be the bad guys and try and
Yeah,
stop
yeah,
the good
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I haven't seen Sky High for a long time, so I can't remember.
It's just the two
Yeah.
bad guys, really, isn't it? That's all you really see. The speedster,
The
and
bullies,
and
yeah.
The guy with it.
Whiplash,
This
whatever.
always gets me in Sky High when the stretchy arm guy. He's always wearing stripy
Yeah,
shirt.
he is, yeah.
Yeah.
And when his arm stretches out, the stripes don't spread
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
his shirt just gets longer and has a
I
same
love that. I
fabric
thought that
area.
was so clever when I was watching.
You
Because
just-
I feel
you
like that's
I
how
wanted to
they.
see it stretch though.
Yeah.
What's it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's got two abilities. He can make his clothing go on forever.
Which, frankly, is much more useful.
Yeah. In today's day and age, yeah. of
Yes.
course. Who wants stretchy arms when you could make clothing go more?
Make clothing go more.
I think I was saying. I was also I would love to be a speedster. I feel like if I go to Hogwarts, I could learn a spell to turn myself into like a speedster or something. Like I think I'm gonna go Hogwarts.
So Hogwarts.
Yeah.
What do you say,
I
Xavier's?
think I'll go Xavier's,
Xavier's.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they have more interesting lectures.
What are you going with?
My
I think I
reasoning.
have to go Xavier's. But Monsters University will be fun for like a day.
That's such a fun one. I would never have thought of that. Yeah, like
How
to be
to
a monster.
terrify children.
Yeah, or to make
Yeah.
them laugh, whatever.
That's
Yeah.
a class I'd take.
Yeah.
It'd
I
be
will say
fun.
though, like I think I've said this before, maybe one of the other podcasts. Is like I wish in Harry Potter or something like that. Like, I wish one of the kids, like maybe one of the Muggle-born kids, like he brings like a PlayStation to the Hogwarts. Or something like
yeah.
that. Like, because why wouldn't they? It's like they come back from class. It's like, you guys want to play Mario Kart or something like that?
Yeah.
And then like all the wizards just playing. It's like, because it's not like they're not allowed to use
And
more
they're like
technology.
magic cheating or something.
Yeah, because it's a school. It's like, why wouldn't they just like bring that? Yeah.
And then the other dude's in the corner like, no, we've got wizard's chess.
yeah, wizards shit. It's like we've played that game. Like,
You could have like Wizards Mario Kart or something.
Yeah.
Wizard's Mario Kart.
Anyway, which one did you say? Sorry. Did you say?
I'm torn between Monsters University and Hogwarts, but Sky High would be fun. I don't have a fun.
It's
answer.
hard
Okay.
to lean away
Okay.
from Sky High. Yeah, that was
Because
great.
it's just I
There's a
feel like it'd be lot
nostalgia
of fun.
factor to that as well.
Definitely.
Definitely go Sky
Do you
High.
want to move on to the next topic?
Let's
Sure.
move on.
You have a topic for once, like
What-
on
Are
time.
you kidding?
Like
Felix didn't think of his topic 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's
he
usually
came
Start a
here.
poll. I have the best
Scrambling.
topics week in, week
you're
out.
like scrambling. to
Okay,
find
yeah,
it.
that's
Make it
right.
up.
I am typically waiting until
Yeah.
the last second to make this one up, but no, so I found out. I thought of this one today.
Okay.
So tomorrow a couple of us are watching Kingsman, and
Kingsman 2.
first movie they had like the British intelligence, and they had like umbrellas and like very kind of British
I think I know where
themes
you're
about
going
them.
with
And then
this.
the next one
Oh,
they have
no.
the American Secret Service,
Oh,
and they've got
no.
lassos and
Oh,
cowboy
no.
hats. What's the third one going to be? Pitch it to me, guys. I want to know where they go next and what's
What
the word for it?
agency?
China.
Stereotypical Secret Service do they have? And
They-
what weapons and shit do they have?
Australia.
Australia.
I
wanna hear
thought you were going
Australia.
to say Australia. Like,
'Cause I was-
pitch me the
I was
Australian
watching,
weapons.
I was
don't
watching an
want that.
interview they did with they
It'll
were
be
reading
cowboys.
comments that people had had about the movie. It's like, oh, Britain has the Kingsman and America has the Statesman, and what do we got? Hugh Jackman. Anyway, so that got me
Yeah.
thinking. I thought that was probably
Yeah.
not a bad one to have a think about.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be still somewhere European, like Russia or something. You know what I mean?
Russians
I can
when
just
they've got, like,
imagine like
sickles and
Russian secret agents.
KGB.
And they were wearing those puffy hats. And
Yeah.
sickles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that'd be an interesting one. I guess yeah.
I
If you
guess,
see
'cause
spy
that's-
movies, they're always like British, like American or.
But aren't we
Cold
usually
War,
against,
yeah.
aren't we usually like against the Russians?
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean, the
it's
British
a,
and
it's a
American
leftover
always get
thing from
along.
like the Cold War. That's
It
why
is.
all
Yeah,
the
that's
James
probably-
Bond things are like Russian.
Yeah,
Man
it's
from
like the
Uncle,
Russian
yeah.
ones. I
Yeah.
really like the idea of the Aussies. I
Yeah,
think.
what do they have?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what their name would be. Like, if
Has
it's
to be
statesmen,
boomerangs.
what would ours would be like?
Like
Territory.
Convict men. or something.
Grobman or something.
What was the colonies? Yeah, like sort of thing.
But we have states, and so does
We do have
America.
states,
so it's
so-
like they've
So-
ruined it.
We'd be like,
Like
Roosties did like a spy show.
Down Underman.
Down Underman.
Down
Oh,
Underman.
gosh.
I don't know.
So bad.
Strayman.
Midnight Oil.
Australian men.
Well, we were like Terror Australis. We could be like Terror Man
Men.
or something.
Terraman. Oh yeah.
Or we could be Madmen. Yeah,
Mad
sure.
Men.
And we'll get what's his name to lead us.
Mad Men. Would
Yeah.
be-
Mad Max to lead us. Yeah.
Mad
But what would we have? I was
Yeah.
interested to discuss the Australian one because in terms of like themed weapons or like tools or something that Australians have, what is that?
We went into the boomerang and the didgeridoo thing before, and I don't know if that was
Yeah.
like a dangerous
Yeah, but the
territory.
beauty of like the other two with the British is that they can walk around with an umbrella. The Americans, they can walk around with a gun and
And
a
a
cowboy
whip.
hat and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
a whip.
well,
A whip,
yeah.
kind of
We're
a whip.
kind of like
What do we do?
cowboys as well,
With
like-
flip flops
Yeah.
and maybe a surfboard or something like that.
Tongs
We
to
would
the
have
Barbie.
Captain
Yeah.
America surfboard that you can like throw and
Oh yeah! Instead of like statesmen, we could have like Bondi men.
Bondi man.
And they like have the surfboard, but then it's like got a secret command. Like they open it and there's just little like
Oh, and they
really
can like
thin
skate
weapons.
around on it in the air and stuff
Oh,
like that
that's
as well.
cool.
Like airborne, yeah.
What if you don't live at a beach though?
Well, you
I
could
feel-
just
yeah.
fly over everything else.
Oh, it's a
Australian.
hover.
See,
It's a
yeah,
hover
you're right. You
surfboard.
can't walk around in a city with a surfboard though, can you?
Well, I mean, you
yeah.
could.
That's what I mean. Flip flops and
Flip flops.
I don't know.
I feel like they would
they're
all
all
look.
gorgeous. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
What about
really.
those
blonde-
hats with like the corks dangling off of them? They're like little mini
They're like little
grenades.
Well, this sounds very much. Roosties did like a spy show called like 11 Little Roosters, and they had like spies from like all over the world. Like there was the French one, he had like the
11 Little
beret and the
Roosters.
cigarette sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Australia was literally called like whatever Australia has, and they're all just like lazy. Well, actually, they're all dressed like Crocodile Dundee. Like they have the crocodile
Oh,
suit
Ah,
thing,
nice.
and they have like the hats, and they're all just like. They just don't do anything really. Like they're just like really lazy and stuff. Like
I feel like we're probably too lazy to even have our own spy.
Yeah, if we
Sure.
did, they would all look like beachy, surfery, like
and what would we need
skatery,
one for? Like,
just
well-
relaxed.
It'd be perfect because no one would expect Australia to have spies,
Oh,
right?
Australia
Why
should
the
be the
fuck would we
villain,
need
then.
them?
Yeah, we could be the villain. Yeah.
We're tired of being like overlooked by everything else. Like I always say, like
We're good too, guys.
yeah,
Can we be in a movie?
really get shown.
I like
think
the
there's like
idea-
probably one shot of like one of the Transformers movies, like the house, the opera house is like
Yeah.
being sucked up
I
into
remember that
some
one.
sort of like world-ending event. 'Cause it's like
What was
yeah.
that?
So it's always like the
Some
it's always like
apocalypse movie or
iconic
something like that.
landmarks are always
Yeah,
the
landmarks.
first to go.
So it's
Yeah.
like the Eiffel Tower and like
Opera House.
and then Opera House. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sydney Harbour Bridge.
I like the idea of them going to Asia. Like Japan or China could have some really cool. Like,
Yeah, well, the China
going to
market
Asia.
now, like I think a lot of more movies are sort of going that way. So yeah,
Think
they
so,
probably
yeah.
would have the China,
third
the China
one probably
team.
will be in China,
Would
but
they be like the Great Wallman or something? Like
The Great-
I don't
the
know.
Wallman.
woman.
Wall.
Well, they could have
the Great
like
Wall.
the thing is with Asia, you've got so many different types. Of,
Yeah.
Like you could have samurai,
specifically China.
ninjas.
But like
Yeah.
samurai and ninja
Kung
have kind of
fu.
been like overdone. I'm picturing like even just like normal people, like say a normal like Japanese woman in like a kimono, but under the kimono she's got like all cool
Fucking
weapons.
everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
She's one of those people
And
that
the
just takes
cute little-
heaps
Yeah.
of knives out. Yeah.
And they've done that sort of thing before, like when they have like the hairs pinned up with
Yeah.
like chopsticks and they pull out the
Oh,
chopstick and kill
yeah.
someone. Like that was in a movie. I'm
yeah,
pretty
no,
sure.
yeah, it was.
Somewhere?
I don't know what it
Like
is.
Somewhere.
the knife in the shoe or something like that. Like
Yeah.
they keep- What if they just did Canada? Like, what if they just went north and just went to Canada or something like that?
They've-
And they're all like
they've
the
got-
Rockies. They have their hats. They're like, hello there. Oh, I can't do a Canadian accent, but like, yeah, like,
We're Canadians, eh?
yeah.
They got maple
And they're just,
syrup
like,
on their
really
belts,
Sorry.
Oh, but it's like poison maple syrup.
Such an ineffective weapon.
What? And they have like maple leaf Death
If
Stars.
they do
like,
that, I want Jim Carrey then to be like the head of the Canadian
Oh
team.
man.
Oh,
You're like,
Was it Jeff Bridges in the one we just in Kingsman 2?
Well, I've
He's
not
the
seen
head,
it yet,
isn't
but he's the head.
Oh,
yeah,
you haven't
Jeff
seen
Bridges.
Yeah.
We're seeing it tomorrow, I think. Kingsman 2.
I might
Yeah.
come with you again. It was
Big
great.
It's
fan
really
of the
good.
I'm
first
gonna watch it
one,
at
yeah.
the Gateway, the new place.
Yeah, shout out again.
Yeah, definitely.
Give us
that's
money.
that's the only place where I want to watch movies now. It's like to go there.
That
yeah.
good, hey?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'll be the judge of that. But yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I'm already looking forward to the third.
I think
movie.
they've already.
Not even
I
having
mean,
Is it going to be a third though?
I feel like they have
Fifth,
announced.
I
a
want
third
them to
one,
go all the way
actually.
around the world and like just jack as many stereotypes as possible and have some stupid
Yeah.
ass.
I wish I was
weapons.
better at coming up with names for these like different places,
I like
like
the
China,
Wallman.
Japan,
That was cool.
and like Canada.
Dundee, man.
Canada would be like Moose Man, I think.
Mooseman.
Moose Man, yeah.
Japan would be
Maple
probably
Men.
like Sun Men or something, because isn't Japan means like the land of the rising sun, doesn't it? Something like that. Nippon.
You could be right.
Maybe.
I'll believe you.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure they have announced the third one actually. I think.
Have they?
Really? Because I googled
I
it
believe
like
so.
after
Future
I
movie
watched the
review.
movie, and all I could see was that Taron Egerton was like, "Oh, no one's like objecting to it. It just sort of depends
Yeah.
where it goes." So
But I feel like
Actually,
they probably
maybe
will anyway.
Maybe
I feel like they
maybe
will.
maybe I'm getting mixed up with movies. I'm thinking of something else. Maybe. Oh, it might have been John Wick 3. I'm thinking of actually.
Have they
yeah, that's
announced
been
that?
announced.
Yeah. Well, they left it on a cliffhanger. You'd hope
Yeah,
they'd
you,
have a third
you,
one.
you kind of have.
Yeah.
In this day, I mean, like if
Yeah.
you get to 2, you
You
almost
gotta
always
get
got to
three.
do 3.
Unless
'cause
you're
it's
Amazing
like,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and then you got to stop.
or Hellboy.
Or
I mean, that was
Fantastic Four.
devastating.
But I-
Golden Army.
That was
that
the
it?
second one.
That was great.
I didn't mind that.
Yeah, but why didn't they do a third one? Like
I
they
don't know.
didn't. Like
Oh, okay, yeah.
the thing about the 3-act structures is like you need if you get one movie,
But
it
it's
has to have
3 act
like
structures in one movie.
yeah, but the same thing happens if you do a trilogy. Like the second,
Yeah.
it's so hard to wrap up like with 2 movies. I
Yeah,
can't
you're right.
think of any that have
Especially
done it
when
well.
they like kind of leave it for a third movie.
Yeah.
But there's heaps of stuff that doesn't even stay at 3 though as well. Like Harry Potter's like
Yeah.
8 and Fast and Furious
Yeah,
is on
Fast and
8 as
Furious.
well.
Transformers,
And it will soon be
Pirates of the
10. They want to get to 10.
Caribbean,
10's got to be for
They're
Fast
never
and
gonna
Furious if they
stop.
go to space.
Fast
Is that
10,
gotta
you
be-
see
They
that.
go
It's
to
gotta be
space.
one
Where
of
else
the
do they go then? You know what I mean?
It's going to be one
Yeah,
of the
that's
longest
true.
running. What else has done? I mean, Harry Potter did
Harry
8,
Potter
but they
did
they
eight.
had
James Bond
books
count?
that they were going to go off of.
I
Whereas,
don't
James
think James
Bond.
Bond counts because it's different actors.
And it's like, but it's been on the air for ages.
No,
so-
I-
do they
yeah,
do
well,
they ever really connect to the ones before them? Though?
No.
Well,
Not really.
Star
They could
Trek's
be
done,
Star
I think,
Wars.
11.
Casino Royale is supposed to be the first
true,
one
true.
of like how he became Bond, even though it's set like 2006 and not in the sort of 40s.
Yeah,
Or
well,
60s.
they did them out of order from the books.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I reckon Star Trek would be up there.
well, even X-Men, though, they're linked. They have a lot of the same
true, true,
actors
true.
with overlap.
How many
Yeah.
is there now though?
X-Men?
Three?
I guess Marvel as well. They've got
Marvel, like
tons.
in a
Well,
few
the
years, like
MCU.
Marvel will be. I mean,
They're already at like 14.
Next
15.
year will be the 10th anniversary. 'Cause Iron Man came
they've
out.
got more.
Iron
Well, are
Man
you talking
came out
about how long in
2008.
years they've come out, or how many in the franchise?
No,
How
the
many in the
franchise.
franchise?
Because
is what I'm saying.
MCU, if you count all the connections, like they are at like 14, I think.
Is that
Wow.
it? Is
Yeah,
that
there's
it?
a lot of films.
That doesn't seem
Well,
like as
Iron
much
Man.
as I thought, though.
Talk amongst
Don't worry,
yourselves.
I'll find
Are we
out.
gonna
Don't worry.
count
Don't
them?
worry, we've got the internet here. I'll do a
Wait,
quick
can you
internet.
count them all? Iron Man, Hulk,
1, 2,
Thor,
3.
Captain America, Avengers.
Thor 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, just
Three,
do
Thor
that.
2,
That's
Captain
great.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm doing it in order though.
Captain
Okay.
America.
Guardians,
But how many
Ant-Man,
Spider-Mans do you
Hulk,
count?
2, Strange. No,
Doctor
wait, I've already
Strange.
mixed up. You've thrown me off.
Haha.
All right, let's move on to the next topic.
Well, I've got 14. So.
I think there's about 14.
Anyway,
Surely.
Me and you to go.
Japan, hold up,
Okay,
is
sorry.
in Japanese means Nihon, which you're right means the sun's origin.
Aw.
If I'm
Well done.
translating that through properly, but yeah, I just googled what does Japan
Sun
mean?
Man.
It's like Nihon, the sun's origin. So yes,
Yeah.
good job. You
Sunmen.
kind
That's
of on
good.
the
I
money.
like that.
Well, maybe 3 they will just like bring in everyone from the world and just have,
Oh,
like,
they
a-
just have
Well,
fucking.
that's like the
20
natural
aliens
trans,
come, so they need the whole world
that's
to
like the
unite.
natural
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
transgression.
What
or
movie
like
did that with?
transpiration.
It was like End of the World, and they had people from like little teens from all over. Do you remember that movie?
Sounds familiar.
It was some sort of apocalyptic thing, and they had
They
like
get,
a
like
little.
the best of the best.
Oh,
Yeah, they had like
Real
a little
Steel?
Aussie team,
Real
and like
Steel? No, not Real Steel.
No.
The one with the big fighting robots?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
They had the
Aussie
American
team, the American
Gypsy
team.
Danger. Gypsy
And the little Aussie?
The Russia.
Yeah.
I fucking love those.
Was it the one with the guy's accent keeps like fluctuating
Yes.
throughout the whole movie?
Probably.
Just breathe over it. It's fine.
It's yeah.
And the China one was like the one robot with like 3 arms or whatever, and it had like
Yeah.
3 guys in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only saw that movie once. Like I don't really have that fond memories of that movie.
It seemed to like. I don't think it did that well at the box office, but then like 3 years later, everyone was like, "Hey, remember that movie? It was great." And now I'm pretty sure they're doing a second one.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They announced it because John
They
Boyega's
like
in it.
announced it. Yeah, John Boyega. He plays the son of Idris Elba, I think, which is
Oh,
a match made
that's
in
awesome.
heaven. That is awesome.
That's cute. Yeah,
That
makes sense.
movie, I love the moment where Idris Elba goes, "We're cancelling the apocalypse."
We're
I'm like, that is one of
cancelling the
the
apocalypse.
Best
Yeah.
lines. I mean, it's so simple. But the way
Yeah.
he delivers it is awesome.
Idris Elba's awesome.
He is awesome.
My topic, I think, as you guys have sort of already guessed, is what
Have not guessed it.
was the first movie that made you cry? That you remember that made you cry? Or got teary or whatever, or sort of whatever.
You saved this one just for Caitlin, didn't you?
I did not. I saved it. I wanted everyone to answer this question.
I love it.
I would struggle to
I don't know if
think of the
Caitlin's a
first
baby or
one.
not. Do you cry a lot? in movies?
I do, but the things that always get me are like the kids' movies that you don't really need to cry in, but I'll just like let out all the emotions. Like I watched The Good Dinosaur. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
and
Oh,
I
really?
was just
Not
like
being that
so
good.
sad.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you mean like at the start?
No,
when-
at the
fucking
end when he
sad,
has
man.
to say goodbye to the little boy, and they're like besties,
Oh.
and it's like, oh, but
Not when the dad dies. No one
That movie-
There.
no.
Well, that was just like it just felt very Lion King-y, I guess. I was like, this is very Lion King-y. And that sort of took me out
Just
of it.
enjoy it.
It
They
was
said that.
breeze
didn't
over
they?
it.
just
Easy
yeah.
breezy.
I'm with you. Just enjoy it. It was cute,
Until it gets really sad.
and just cry.
So
No.
what was the first one for you then?
Well,
You cried
first
then?
one that I can remember is probably Sister of the Travelling Pants.
What?
Oh,
I've not
Sad
seen
film?
it. Is it sad?
yes,
I thought it was
is
like
a sad
a kid
film.
comedy, like a fun.
It is.
I've no
it
idea.
does get sad.
It's got a
doesn't it?
very young Blake Lively in it.
Ooh,
Oh, I thought it was British. Wait, what am I thinking?
No.
you should watch that.
And it's one of the girls, like, on her semester break, meets this other young girl that has cancer and she dies.
Jeez.
So, it sounds really dark. It's not that dark. Like, it's just a
But there's like, because it's like 4 stories, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
the 4 girls.
the
So
4
like some of
girls
them are like
go away.
funny. One of them has like a romance.
Yeah, that's right. And then one of them has a really, like, serious, sad time.
Yeah.
So that made me cry. But yes, that's probably the first one I remember.
The first one you remember.
Since then, yeah, all the kids ones get me.
Yeah,
I don't know
animated
why.
stuff. Animated stuff's. I mean, Felix, what about you?
So I've been at a couple of parties now where we've somehow gotten onto the topic of movies that make you cry.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I will say Up, and I'll have always at least one other person. That was the first movie that made me cry. I will always have at least one other person that was like, "Holy shit, me too." It's
Yeah,
like
that
most
was-
people was just like, "Oh, isn't that just a movie about people in a balloon?"
that is really
But
sad.
fuck, man, like I think I can't remember if it's the
It's
beginning
in
of
the
It's that
first
first
the
10
beginning.
minutes.
Is
Yeah.
it the
First
beginning
10 minutes.
where there's
Yeah.
just this amazing montage?
Yep.
It's fucking intense, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
all the feels.
cried in that as
I was
well.
like a normal kid too. Like I wasn't I wasn't very
Well,
deeply
I didn't watch it
thinking
in
about
cinemas.
it either.
I was a grown man when I
on the
watched
surface,
it.
on the surface, it made me cry. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even have to think about it.
I think I cried like maybe on a later viewing because in the cinema I remember like I think I was just like I didn't quite realize what was happening. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because you go into this film wanting to have fun and then it's just like really like sad and depressing and I'm just like I think I had that face like what did I
What's
sign up
happening?
for? It's like I guess I
She
wasn't
like
even
can't have
into you.
kids, and then she dies, and it's like, oh,
yeah, but it was like I
Yeah.
didn't realize like you're like meant to cry, like you're allowed to cry. I think I just had like
Yeah.
this weird sort of reaction to it, being like, this isn't what I signed up for. And you're like, you're kind of like, is this meant to be really depressing? Like, it's like, yeah.
You
and
still
then,
got a smile on your face.
no, it's
Yeah.
just like this face of like confusion, I think. Because you just like some
It is
movies,
confusing, yeah.
when they shift the tone on you like that, but animated movies, there's a lot of stuff like that, yeah.
It was
Like
only 8 years ago Up that came out.
2009, I believe, yeah.
So what about you
But
guys?
that's
I
real
don't know if I
sad.
can remember the first one, but I think one of the earlier ones was probably Red Dog.
Oh,
Because one's
that
with
wasn't even
dogs.
that long ago.
Marley and Me.
Well, I was going to say Marley and Me. I can't remember
The
if
dog
I've-
ones always
Red
get
Dog
me.
was
Yeah.
like 6 years ago.
Yeah. But it's also like a mood thing. Like, I watch kids' movies all the
Definitely.
time. I almost cried in Ninjago because I was like way overtired. And there was
Yeah.
like a moment where all the kids were like being supportive of each other, and they were like, "We can do it. We can work
Oh, like
together." And I was
beautiful
like,
cry.
That's so mean.
But I was
little
really
Lego
tired. Like again,
Yeah.
I think I had like bawled in Lego Batman just for like for 2 minutes. I was like, "Oh my
Which
god!"
part of, wow.
But like I just
Yeah.
cry at stupid stuff
Yeah.
if I'm tired.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, you and me both. But I was
Whereas-
watching Survivor last night and I cried. Like they all got letters. No, two of them had a call to the
Oh, the
family.
TV show. Okay,
yeah, you know when they
yeah.
have it, they're all away, and like a lot of shows do it, and they have a call home.
Yeah.
And then I was just like bawling. I'm like, so that's just like if you're in the right mood, anything can get you. I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, the
if
one
you're in
I've
the mood.
cried the
you're in
most
the
for was A Monster Calls, which I watched
Yeah.
earlier this year.
More than we
And-
cried at Lion. Wait, we were all there at Lion.
Oh,
Lion! We were
Lion!
bawling for like 10 minutes after Lion.
Did I watch Lion with you guys?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one about the young Indian boy who goes home. and
like
finds
when
his
he
mum.
finds like
I was just wondering if I remembered watching it with you guys, but I
it's
didn't
like
remember
when he
crying, but-
finally like
Yeah, I can-
finds the mum
do
and they
remember you
embrace
guys
and it was
crying.
like you finally could take a breath and then like it was just like we were all just like hysterically crying,
Yeah.
like sobbing, like
We were
That was
sobbing.
really sad.
ugly
like
cry.
it was like
ugly
it was like
cry.
I think I got this. It was like hold me. I mean, because I was like with me. Okay, so I like never cried at anything really, and then
What?
the
You cry
first-
all the time.
I'll get there.
You're an emotional dude.
We
I'll get
watched
there.
Your Name recently, which is that anime about the boy and girl that swap bodies, and the lights came on, and I was like, well, that was pretty good. And I looked over, and Jack's just like,
Well, okay.
why did they
That's
tears
so
together?
Here's why. I'm going to explain why this
All right,
happened.
okay.
Okay, so the earliest memory I remember, I remember getting teary-eyed at Moulin Rouge, like at the end, like when Nicole Kidman's
Yeah.
character
Oh,
dies,
yeah, okay.
and Ewan McGregor's like really sad. And I remember feeling something. I was kind of like, oh, that's really sad, and like I was like kind of teary.
The first time you had that
Didn't
emotion,
cry
you're like,
though.
"What
Yeah,
is this?"
exactly. Yeah. I was like, oh, get it off me.
My
yeah.
eyes are leaking.
I'm like, yeah. Weird.
It's so salty.
But there was a little movie, you may have heard of it, that came out in 2010 called Toy Story 3.
Aww.
That fucking
little
movie.
bitch.
That movie broke
they're
something
holding
inside me. No.
In the first.
The everyone's like, oh, the suicide pact part. I'm like, no, that wasn't sad. That wasn't sad to me.
Yeah, suicide pact, whatever.
I've never heard it
No, 'cause it
referred to
wasn't
as a
sad. It wasn't
suicide
Wait
sad
for
to
the
me.
part that made him cry.
It wasn't
though.
sad. That
I know
wasn't
where
sad.
this is
That
going.
wasn't sad for me because I knew they were going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not going to end a movie there. Although there is a funny video online of someone has edited that's how it ends, and he showed his mum that, and it's like literally like they all hold hands, and then it goes. Like in the credits come up, it's like you got a friend in me. And the mum just turns to the kid like, what? She's so confused. No, the part that gets me is at the very. The part that gets me is
When
at
he
the
gives the
very end
toys.
where he gives the toys away, and they have that little montage of them playing. It's a happy sound.
Oh, okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
this-
You're allowed to
the
cry, though.
part where I remember gasping was like Bonnie's like she sees Woody in the box, and Andy's like, "How did Woody get in there?" And then she goes to get Woody, and he just like he goes like that,
Yeah.
like he just like without even thinking of it, he's like, "No, he's mine." And then he's like, "Did I just do that? I'm a grown man." And then
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh God!" And then he's like playing with like all his toys, and then she makes Woody wave at the end, and then Andy's like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm like,
So am I. You explaining it to
and
me.
he's like, so long, partner. And like, and I was just like, it just broke something in me because I was the same age as Andy in that movie, and I was like crying, and like we were with. It was funny because we were all like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, and we were all in this big line. Like, there was more people our age than there were, like, younger kids.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, he was like, he kind of joked. He was just like, it's really sad, right, guys? And then I was like, yeah. And then everyone's like, wait, are you actually crying? Like, and I was like, no. And then everyone's like, oh, Jack. And they all like came over and like, Jack, you okay? And I was just like,
You do make
really
a good point,
crying.
though, with the happy crying, because
Yeah.
there are so many movies that, you know, like the cute moment between the mum and dad or the kids or the friends that I'm like, but then there's a different sort of cry for
There
that,
is.
like,
I think-
genuinely, like, the line sort of cry.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, I think I
Yeah.
honestly do cry more with the happy stuff. I
Yeah.
think it's like this release. I
Yeah.
think like it's like you've gone through all this shit. Because honestly, after Toy Story 3, I'll cry at anything.
Yeah.
Like anything. Like
Oh, so it broke you like that.
it broke me
like,
like that. I was
break
like
the
never cried,
seal.
never cried. And then Toy Story was like wham. I was like whoa, you will cry forever, bitch. It's like, Pixar's like, let me taste your tears. Like and now it's like Your Name, like when they finally like got together and stuff like that. Like
Like at the end
Tangled.
of Tangled.
Tangled, yes.
Oh.
When he cuts the hair off and like that whole scene's really dramatic, and then like they're sort of crying and like
family.
Flynn's dead. I'm like, are they really gonna kill Flynn? Are they really gonna kill Flynn? And I was like getting like worked up, and then like she saves him, and then she's like, Flynn, are you there? And he's like, did I ever tell you I've got a thing for brunettes? I was like, you bastard.
You slimy dog.
yeah. Like, yeah. You like want to slap him and then like make out. Or, like, I'm pretty sure that's happens in Rapunzel. But I'm trying to think what else like gets me as well.
Did you cry in Frozen?
No.
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 Neither did I.
Oh, I think I might have, yeah.
Your Name. I'm trying to think what I've seen recently. The Last Airbender TV show, that gets me sometimes.
Aw.
Like
Which
Legend.
scene?
Just the whole thing. Honestly,
whole thing.
honestly, I'm so attached to that show that I was showing Kat some episodes, and I was just thinking about the show, and I honestly felt this wave of emotion come over Ralph, and I was just
God.
gonna start bawling because I love that show so much, and the
Aw.
finale is so powerful. But then also the season finale of Legend of Korra, where, without spoiling it, she meets someone.
The
And,
last
like,
season
The
finale.
the season 1 finale. She meets someone, and it's a big moment.
That was
and I
ages
just, like,
ago. You
I
can
cried.
ruin that if you want.
Spoiler.
Wow.
I think I've seen season 1 of that.
Yeah, a lot of animated stuff, I would say.
That's a good question.
I feel like I probably got teary at Wreck-It Ralph. Like, you know,
Oh,
where he's
yeah.
like flying down, and he's like, I'm not good, but that's, oh no, I'm bad, and that's good, and I'm not good, and that's
Oh,
bad,
when he's
that's
saying
okay, yeah.
the motto or whatever.
Yeah.
And the little girl is cute in that too.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though Sarah Silverman's kind of annoying. She's like got a good voice for...
Yeah.
I think I cried
She's
in
in
an
Bob's
episode
Burgers.
of Bob's Burgers, yeah.
Oh, really?
Which made me think of it. Because the girl who does Louise, yeah, she's so funny.
There's a TV stuff. I mean, with animated stuff specifically, like, I think because it like kids love it because it is so expressive and emotional. You know, the big eyes,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like big smiles and big
Fun,
laughs.
yeah.
But that also means big sadness as well, like
Yeah.
big sad eyes, like Rapunzel's huge eyes when they well up with tears and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It gets you
Aw.
because you can read the emotion so clearly, and so you empathize with it so much as well.
And when
Ooh.
the sidekicks get all emotional too, like the little chameleon is like all sad, and it's just
The little
Oh,
pets
Guardians! Guardians too.
The
I think I
pets
got a
get
little.
sad.
I think I got a bit teary at Guardians too, actually, when Yondu dies. Spoiler for Guardians
Oh,
2.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Just that whole
He
scene,
may be
like-
your father, but he ain't your daddy.
yeah. Oh, that was cute.
Yeah, that was like a sweet ending. Ooh,
Yeah.
it got an Emmy It won the Emmy. San Junipero episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah, I
was
saw
phenomenal.
that.
I that broke me as well. I get like
Is that
again,
the-
I was just like crying. I was
They
like,
seen that
go
one.
into like a kind of like a database or something, and they're like living inside different.
I don't want to say, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna
That-
ruin it.
Well, part of the episode is figuring out what the hell is going on. You're
true.
like, are they in the
True.
past?
You're
Or like, are they time travelers? And then like you just sort of watch it, but like, that
That
show's
shit
really
fucks
good.
you up. I can
Black
picture
Mirror-
Have you binged? Have you ever
I
watched
can
Black Mirror?
picture a lot
Okay.
of people
It's
crying.
so hard.
I can only
to
do an
binge.
episode.
I love
like,
to
at one
torture
time.
I
myself.
could do like one
Yeah.
episode a year.
Really sad.
It just like breaks my mind every time I do it.
meaning to finish the season, and then I'm sort of like, I don't really feel like being
I've seen like
depressed
2 from
tonight.
each
Like,
season.
yeah, like I'll just watch like Bob's Burgers or something, like something
Yeah.
funny, whatever. Yeah.
I remember the first one I watched was one where like the president has to like bang a pig to save
That's the
Asian.
very first episode.
Yeah, because I
It's
was going to watch it in order, and I
Yeah.
got through that, and I was
it's sort
like,
of like scenario based. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's
sort of
so
moral
high
dilemmas.
concept. It's
very high
amazing.
concept. So like the
They're
first
not
episode
very
is like
connected to each other. Yeah. So
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
it's
just
and then
one-off,
both
yeah.
episodes, yeah. But there's like, yeah, they do like weird sort of dystopian futures. Like there's one that's like you rate everybody has a rating. Like you don't rate the things, you rate people.
Yeah.
And so they're like she's only a 4, like or she's only like a 3. Don't touch the
and there's
3.
like clubs and stuff you can't get
Yeah.
into. There's like different queues for like different.
Yeah, like if you're a 5, you can get like everywhere or whatever. There's a community episode like that too, actually, which is really good. The Meow Meow Beans.
yeah.
And
Which is
they
scary
all rate
because
them,
like
yeah.
it makes you think that we're like close to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
pretty
that's
much.
that's the scary thing about Black Mirror is it's kind of like we're one bad day away from a lot
Yeah,
of these
yep.
scenarios.
Yeah.
Tremendous
Wow.
show.
It is a great
seen
So
show.
all of it?
creative. I've not because
seen,
like I
like,
said, I
2
can't.
from
I
each
can only
season.
stomach like
You gotta
one,
keep them 12
one a
months
week.
apart. Yeah.
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 It's like I watched all 13 or 16 of them. in
That's
about-
How you
in about
got
4
broken
days.
as a
Did you
man?
cry
Like,
during
I
13
watched all
Reasons
of
Why?
13 Reasons Why. I watched that all in 2 days. I spent like I think it was 8 hours.
And then nobody
watching-
saw him for 2 weeks.
Jesus
Yeah, did you
Christ,
cry?
that shit was fucked up. I was watching until like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I was overtired, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I didn't. Oh, no, I didn't cry.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the lamest thing that I cried at.
The lamest thing.
Like the thing
I feel
that's
like
like
Lego
really.
Ninjago's probably taken
That
that
is
title.
up there. That movie, yeah. Anyway.
There was like this short scene, like, because it's such a stupid movie. There's like
It
this
wa- yeah,
short
it was,
scene
like,
where it's
too
like
stupid.
kind of emotional. I was like, oh shit, I should have slept last night. I was like,
You
oh,
just
no.
thought about like all the decisions you've made in life. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's probably enough of the teary topics.
Yeah.
I think maybe wrap it up.
Thank God we
Line
did-
was
wait,
fun
that-
just because
was
we
that
were
our last
all at
topic?
line. I think.
No, we got
Yeah.
one more. We got one more.
Yeah.
Line.
Yeah, that's me. Bloody Toy Story 3 just like broke me.
Line was probably the one where we all cried together.
Yeah.
That's probably the most I have cried. Like that was just like sobbing.
Well, if
And
we
it
do
was
the
like-
most I've
it was
cried,
like, I think I've got it together, and then I just like I had a flash of like the scene. You're like, like it's just like
The emotions.
like,
the most I've
That's
ever cried in a
insane.
film was A Monster Calls, which I know I mentioned before, but it's about a young boy and he's
on
going
my list.
through like a really like
Yeah.
difficult thing with like his mom. I won't give spoilers, but there's like this guardian sort of tree thing that he's like, it's really strong with the metaphors, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've read the book, so I thought I'd be okay in the movie. But I was watching the movie and it was worse because I knew what was coming. So I was like
Aw.
curled up on the couch and like probably like the 50% of the way through, I started like sobbing like those heavy like,
yeah.
and I was like that until the end of the film. So like almost 45 minutes, I would like wipe my eyes and then the kid would like he would like
Are you
get
crying out
sad
Are you
on the...
crying?
now? You getting
I,
teared
I
up
was
now?
like, man, I
wanna
cried
watch
for like
it.
over
This
half
thing
an hour.
fucking
Since you told
dehydrated
me
after
that.
45 minutes of crying.
Genuinely,
Since
I
you-
was
yeah.
like dehydrated.
I mean, it's on my list now since you said
Yeah,
you said that. Like, I
definitely.
think it's showing at the deck chair.
It
I'm
is,
on the
yeah. I'm
calls.
probably going to go again.
It's on Netflix.
BoJack Horseman season 4. I got teary at the end. Have you seen the new?
I haven't
newest
seen the
season?
new season.
Basically, they end that finale on like a really good note, or like a really cool note. They just kind of like recontextualize the whole season, and I was like I'm not sure if I cried. Actually, I think I was just more like.
Well, that
wow,
show
just, like,
always
emotionally,
it's emotional, yeah.
stricken.
Yeah.
Because that show
Something
you
like
don't
that.
expect it. It's like this Will Arnett weird comedy where everyone's
Yeah.
an animal, and like half the show is animal puns, and the other half is like just
really serious
depression.
like depression. Yeah.
Isn't that sort of what
Existentialist
Rick and
crisis.
Morty's like, though?
Rick
Hits you
and
with
Morty's
those.
different.
Similar in ways, but very different in other
Yeah.
ways. Like there is like Rick is like very depressed in some episodes, and there's very dark things. But
Yeah.
it's also like
It's kind
It's
of
more-
more subtle, but it's also like it's more ironic. I guess.
Yeah, okay.
They're more trying to make fun of it,
Yeah,
of
it kind
these
of.
ideas, instead of BoJack Horseman is like trying to make you
Think
really
about 'em.
freak out.
Yeah,
Right.
BoJack Horseman is like genuinely like
well, I think BoJack.
depressing.
Yeah, BoJack. It's
Oh.
like he's depressed, but it's like it's relatable. Whereas like Rick and Morty, it's like he's depressed, but it's like because everything in that show is so heightened and crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like everything's like a crazy level sort
Yeah.
of thing. If that makes sense. Like Rick tries to kill himself with like some like crazy ray gun. Like it's always like quite over the top.
Yeah.
Even though there are like themes and
Yeah.
things like that. What you said about like crying through the monster calls, that I remember there was a meme for this video game called The Last of Us, and it was like, how can I play the game if I can't see through the tears? Whatever sort of thing. And I remember getting quite teary. Actually, I didn't think I got teary with The Last of Us. I got teary with, there was a little DLC like expansion pack called Left Behind. I believe, and that was just like the girl called Ellie, and I got really sad.
Well, if we're going to stray away from movies...
No, I was just going to quickly say, is there a video game that...
Well,
Books as well. Books or video
That
games.
was a really sad movie.
Bridge to Terabithia, when I was a kid, I read that and I was like, all right, she's dead, get over it. And then I reread it as an adult, and I was in the last 5 to 10 pages. The page was so stained with my tears that I had to dry it out just to finish it.
Jesus. Wow. I don't think
let's get off this fucking depression.
Moving on.
Have you cried in a video game or?
Have I cried in a video game?
Yeah.
No.
I don't get too invested in video games.
You don't even pay attention to them.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, I mean, I
talking
enjoy the
about-
experience. I'm not like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
You
same with-
get
it's
to the
same
last
with
episode and
movies.
you're like, oh, when did that happen? It's like,
big-
they foreshadowed
I
it.
do the
Like,
exact same
He
thing
just
with movies.
breezes through it. We all got we were playing one of the Pokemons, and I was like, Felix was like, I'll put 10 hours in, and I was like, I'm gonna put 5 hours in, and then Felix I used the move cut, and I cut down one of the trees, and Felix was like, how do you have cut? And I was like, what do you mean?
How do you know?
I talked to one of the guys in the town. Felix was like, crap, I've missed it. So he had to go back and talk to everybody to find it.
I'm not just trying to complete for the sake of completing it. I just
Sounds like
I
that's what you're
enjoy
doing.
the experience
Yeah.
more than the stories behind everything. Same with movies. I enjoy seeing slow-mo Transformers than I do an amazing story.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm
allowed to though.
No,
so
that's
fuck
fine.
you. If you're judging me inside your little ivory towers
I am.
of enjoying stories.
All right. Let's get away from crying.
All right, who's next?
Sean.
Hey, I'm the last one. All right. So mine's another sort of quick, fun one.
Okay.
All right. Thinking of a movie you've really enjoyed, what side character or minor character would you like to have their own spin-off? Would you like to watch the Gandalf movie or the Darth Maul movie or the Flynn Rider movie?
Gandalf movie.
The Flynn Rider movie.
The Groot movie.
The Groot movie.
Just
the
Groot?
movie.
Groot and Rocket.
Oh,
It has to be
Rocket and
Groot
Groot.
and Rocket.
Yeah, fuck yes. Before he meets the Guardians.
Did I
Better than
steal the good
anything
one?
I thought.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
There's comics. I think that's like an animated show or a comic. Rocket and Groot. I mean, that'd be that'd be hilarious.
Doesn't Olaf already have
buddy.
his own movie?
I think isn't Frozen
watched
2
that.
going to be about Olaf?
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
Frozen 2 and the
it's
subtitles
like-
Olaf's Adventure.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
The next thing that make it. I don't know if it's called Frozen 2.
I don't
but
think,
it's the next
it's
thing
like
that they make
his own mini movie or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got the internet here. I don't know why.
That is interesting because I feel like
But I don't want to watch
the
that.
psychic
No,
thing
I
doesn't.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I want to know more about Elsa and Anna. Yeah, Olaf.
And they're doing like a Bumblebee spin-off. Which is...
I feel like they should keep the side characters as side characters sometimes. I think
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
it works with some things, but well, I didn't particularly care for Finding Dory, and I don't want the Han Solo movie.
No, I didn't want Finding
And-
Dory.
There's a video
Sorry.
game called Bio. It's weird when they take it's like an aspect of the thing that people really like and connect, and they're like, let's turn it into a whole movie, and I don't think it always works. But in saying that,
Just a quick side note.
ahead.
Finding Dory, I cried in that movie.
You cried in
When
Finding Dory.
she's adorable and really cute and small. But that's all.
I cried out of
fair
boredom
enough.
in the last half hour.
Oh,
of that film.
whatever.
Because
It's
it just
cute.
went on and on and on.
No,
and
it's
and
cute.
then,
Man, just kill me now.
that whole movie, this is all Finding Dory is. It's like, hey, remember that thing from the first movie that everybody liked? Let's do it again. Or it's like, hey, look, sea turtles. Remember them from the first movie? That was
Oh,
fun.
whatever.
And then I was like, remember this? It's like, I don't know,
cute.
the whole movie was just like, let's just reference the first movie.
Okay, well, sidekicks. What about
but there's some that are,
teams? So, say Suicide Squad. Can you choose, just it's like a Harlequin movie
Mountain
or something?
Climber.
Because I would watch a Harlequin.
what's his name? Slipknot or something.
Slipknot, yeah. Or even Captain Boomerang.
You can climb anything.
No.
I would watch the
We
Captain
need a more
Boomerang movie.
Australian. We need a more Australian superhero.
Is Jai
we need
Courtney
their
Australian?
origins.
I don't
Probably
think
not.
so.
Well, I want to.
Well, speaking of Jai Courtney, we found out recently that Die Hard, what's the character's name?
Yeah, he is.
Bruce Willis'
Australian.
John McClane.
Jai
John
Courtney's Australian.
McClane is a spin-off. His first appearance was in some other film in the
Really?
50s or something.
Frank Sinatra
Frank
played him.
Sinatra, I think,
and they
played
had
him.
to legally ask him if
Yeah.
they wanted
Really?
to.
And he was like,
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra was like 70 or something like that.
So Die Hard is
Thank
a
God he said
spin-off.
no. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Thank God he said no.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra sitting there like on a wheelchair.
John
He's
Courtney
like,
is
yeah, I'll do
Australian.
it.
Ah,
Is he really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, he's an
Alright.
Australian actor, they call him, which makes me think that he's
Why?
I think
Australian.
it's Australian.
Or he just does a really good
just
Australian
making sure,
accent.
covering
Yeah.
my bases.
What
Or
do you
else he
need to
was
be
born
called
there.
to be an Australian actor?
Born in Australia.
Born in Australia.
Or grew
Yeah,
up in
no.
Australia.
An
it's
Australian
like,
citizen.
Well, you could be an actor in Australia. You know what I mean? Like be shipped from Australia.
Well, I was thinking maybe you just have to do a
Let's not
really
get
good
He
into
didn't go to
Australian
Hollywood.
accent.
He did the opposite. He came from Hollywood to
Yeah.
like Australia.
And then they kept flying it back over. Let's not get into the definition of Australian actor.
I'm
what was yours then?
blanking
Sorry,
on-
what was
I'm
sorry.
yours? Yeah. really-
Best spin-off movie you want the most? What character?
Yeah, sorry, not the
Maybe
question.
we should start giving the
What was
topics
your-
beforehand because I'm really blanking on something.
What was
Yeah,
your
sorry.
choice
Come back
though?
to
You
me.
said mine was...
I don't know. Yours was really good. Rocket
Yeah,
and
Groot
Groot.
and Rocket is.
Yeah, that's a good
pretty
one.
badass.
The Wolverine ones was good. I mean, they did that, and that was fine.
Yeah, they'll probably keep doing spin-off ones of X-Men characters, I think.
Well, because they have to keep the rights. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some now as well. The Rocket and Groot one's better than anything I thought of.
I can't even think of like.
I mean, even stuff like Star Wars, aren't Han and Chewie getting their own movie?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like Lando and Emilia
Yeah.
Clarke as another character.
Really?
Yeah.
She's in that, and so is like Woody Harrelson and someone else
It's like a
famous as
pretty
well.
decent
It's like,
Wow.
it's not
Yeah.
what
It's
pretty
Star Wars. They can
mainstream
get
cast.
anyone they
Yeah.
want.
Star Wars usually opts for like less known people too. Oh well, that's cool.
Yeah, well, I think they did that with Force Awakens.
Yeah.
They wanted all unknowns,
And
which is
Rogue
cool.
One was pretty.
Yeah, Rogue One actually as well.
The
yeah.
Nick Fury movie, like how he got so badass.
I'd
watch that.
Like a young Nick Fury. Yeah, I'd check that out.
How he loses his eye or something.
Well,
like
that's
that.
what
Or
I was
or he
hoping
just never-
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the TV show, would
Yeah.
not be that, but like go into the agents more. They don't.
You need
I
inspiration.
don't know. I'm just.
Oh, the
really
Loki
blank.
movie. That
I'm
could be
just-
fun.
Oh, that'd be.
Oh, that would be good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
that'd be
him,
cool.
just him going from planet to planet causing trouble.
All right, so we're all a little bit blank. So like, all right,
Wow,
what
Rocket
about
Groot, man.
what about villains?
in
What,
agreeance?
what villain? Like, they're sort of minor characters. What villain would you give their own film to?
Yeah.
Well, Maleficent's
Ronan
had her
the
own.
Accuser. No.
Ronan the Accuser. I would love to learn more about
Malekith,
Ronan.
like all those shitty
Yeah.
Marvel villains.
They could all team up together, do like the Disney super
I
villain
want
thing.
Jaws to have his own spin-off
Jaws.
called Jaw. Yeah, just Jaw. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
Jaws
he already
story.
has his own film.
Like Jaws 4.
I think Jafar and his little parrot would be cute.
Iago and Jafar.
Yeah, Iago. What? It would be
I love
funny.
that. I love
Just like
that.
before they got to Agrabah, they were like some small. He was like a small town. Like he made
Yeah.
Iago do tricks for money, and then he was like, "Nah, I want to have like a better life and be like." the-
How he became
the
like
Sultan's,
Sultan's assistant
assistant,
or whatever.
That
yeah.
sounds really inspirational.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe
yeah.
maybe Aladdin's the bad guy.
Aladdin crushed the dreams of this small-time wizard.
That'd be good if they twisted it, yeah, so you just felt bad for him.
I can't do Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
Gilbert
yeah.
Godfrey. Yeah.
That's a big surprise.
That'd be cute.
That's,
And
I feel like
know
that's what
about
they, I mean,
bad
I
guys.
never saw the movie Maleficent. Did they sort of recontextualize her in that movie?
I
sort of
think
thing?
they
Yeah,
tried
sort
to,
of.
yeah.
They
I
tried
don't
to
think
make
they
her,
did a very
like,
good job.
Yeah.
They showed her where she
Relatable.
started
I
from
don't
and
know.
how she got to
Yeah.
where she was. So it was
Yeah.
kind of like, I can see how you became a bitch in that universe.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of like that how they sort of become well
It
because
doesn't happen often, do they?
Pirates of the
They don't make
Caribbean-
bad guy movies.
No.
Barbossa was like the bad guy in the first one, and they kind of bring him back as
Yeah,
like a
definitely,
kind
yeah.
of he's
Sort
like
of.
quite a morally good cat. Well, he's kind of like chaotic good, I
Chaotic
guess. Like
good, yeah.
in the second and third one,
Which
like
so is Jack, I guess.
yeah,
See,
well, Jack's just crazy.
What some people hate about those films, and which I love about, is that like everybody like swaps sides all the
Yeah,
time. Like they're always
there's no
working for their
real
own
good
agenda,
guy.
which can be confusing. But I
yeah,
love it.
See
It's
that?
like-
See, I hate. I
like
couldn't
Game of
stand
Thrones.
that.
it's all like up in the air,
No,
and then
but
it could
no
go
No
on.
one knows what's going to happen.
Because Game of Thrones, like they have time to flesh it out, whereas this was just like this convenience is. I don't know. It felt very just silly.
because
I
it
thought it was
works. Yeah, okay.
Well,
No, as in like that's what you're thinking. Like, I guess that's what they could.
that's what I don't
That's how
like
we
about
could
Game of
suss
Thrones
that out.
now. Is that now we do have like the good guys and the bad guys. I'm like,
Ooh, I want the Podrick movie.
Oh, I love Pod.
Just
that would be
Podrick.
like a 20. No, wait. Is
Podrick.
Podrick one?
Podrick.
Is
Podrick.
Podrick the one
Game of
who?
Thrones.
The little one.
Poddy.
Is he the one who has?
Oh,
sex
yeah.
with, like
Like,
prostitutes.
Yeah,
And
I want to know how he
Who-
pleasured those girls.
the 30-minute
Well, no
Podrick
money.
X-rated film.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
like Game of Thrones
No,
from his point
you
of
might
view,
not
yeah.
remember that scene. I think it's like early in the show, but he like goes into this room with like 3, I want to say
Oh, I know
prostitutes.
that one, yeah.
Yeah, and then he like walks out and he's like, all right,
all
how
I
much do we
remember
owe
it
you?
for.
And the girl's like, no, it's on the house. And
And
every man watching it was like, what?
They don't
Yeah.
know what he did. And like they're like, is he like, does he
Yeah,
like,
no.
does he have a big? And they're like, no, he's got like quite an average like penis.
Tyrion
yeah.
and
Tyrion and Bronn.
yeah, they sit him
Yeah.
down with like wine, and they're like, "You're telling us what you
Yeah.
did."
Yeah, I'd watch that film, sure. not
Send
with my,
tips
not with
to
my
Podrick.
I wasn't
family.
even thinking about that scene. Honestly, I just really like Podrick. I just think he's awesome. And he's like so lovable.
Yeah.
Like,
When
he's
we
so loyal
He
to
is.
everyone.
when we bring
like,
up Podrick, can you show this photo?
Look at
oh,
him.
send that to me.
He's got
yeah.
a little, yeah.
Very
I like
cute.
the one where he's sitting on the Iron Throne. He's like doing this one where like, and it's like Podrick for Emperor, King of Westeros.
Yeah,
Podrick, first of his name, ruler of...
yeah.
What about who's the bad guy? I can't remember her name from Emperor's New Groove.
Yzma.
Oh yeah, the
No, the
cute.
Kronk standalone film.
They did that. Empress New Groove too.
Did they really?
I think that's all about
Oh,
Kronk.
no.
Yeah.
Really?
All those
Aw.
horrible direct-to-video
And I haven't seen it.
Disney films. Yeah.
I don't know how to spell Kronk.
I think it's Kronk.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm still having trouble with these with, like sidekicks and side characters.
What about
Yeah.
like what's the Kate
Like the
Blanchett
Robin
in
movie.
Lord of the Rings?
Like Galadriel.
Yeah, Galadriel.
Spin-off.
Like what's
Well-
her deal?
I feel like if they were going to do that, they would do the Silmarillion, because it was like J.R. Tolkien wrote this like book called the Silmarillion, which
like
is
an
like the history
encyclopedia.
of
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah, and there's so many cool stories. Like there's all these like heroes, and
Yeah.
they defeat Sauron's master, which is like
yeah.
10 times scarier. There's like more dragons just
It's
everywhere.
impressive.
It's funny you bring that up. I was doing a little bit of reading about that because I was looking at The Hobbit and sort of like what went wrong. But I
Aw.
mean, no.
What do you
okay,
mean?
I
In the
love
movies?
the first movie.
Yeah.
But I think they sort of get progressively worse. Yeah, like there's a lot of like. Well, I won't go into it, but basically I got into the topic of the
Silmarillion.
Silmarillion and the Tolkien estate's like, no, Peter Jackson's not touching this.
Yeah.
And they were like, we weren't happy with The Hobbit. And I was like, well, fair. And they're like, we also did not like Lord of the Rings. I'm like, well, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
I was like apparently they're just like not happy that it got turned into movies like in general.
Yeah.
I think that's
Whatever.
Christopher
Like-
Tolkien. It's like his son or his grandson
His
or
son's
something.
just like, they're too violent.
He's
I'm
such a
like,
sick stick in the mud.
I can see
Yeah.
where you're coming from with the violence because like I feel like those books weren't very violent and they sort of made it more epic.
Well,
but I feel like
there were battle
there was
scenes,
battles,
though.
and so they're sort of going to show the battles.
I think Christopher Tolkien's thing is that he like grew up with the stories, like they were told to him when
Yeah,
he was like a
probably.
child, and now that he's like, oh, now the whole world has them. They're not special.
Yeah. They were my thing.
anymore. Tonks, the Tonks movie.
Tonks.
Yeah, she's great. She like changes her facial features.
Oh wow! Oh,
Who's
man,
Tonks?
what a great thing!
No, you guys,
Who the fuck cares about Tonks?
Tonks is the
Who
best.
is what? She does nothing.
Sirius,
She gets herself killed.
Sirius Black, Remus Lupin.
I don't
No,
want
the
Sirius Black.
Marauders movie.
Nymphadora.
Yeah, Nymphadora Tonks.
How about the Auras movie?
No,
bunch of
that's
badass auras.
boring.
Oh my god!
Sirius Black.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know,
no,
did
the
we already-
Marauders.
Did
the
we already
four-
say this? Did you guys ever say
I
the
said
Sirius
Sirius
Black,
Black,
movie?
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that would be good.
He's too serious.
Nah,
Sirius
he's
Black.
cool.
Like between the time of James and
Made a
Lily
joke and
dying,
Ed's
and
trying
then
No, I'm
justify
feeling
it.
like I just mean like the Marauders at high school. That'd be great. I'd watch that. That'd be funny.
what the Dobby movie?
Oh, Dobby.
That'd be depressing.
The Schmeagle
That'd be
movie.
depressing as
We
hell.
already have the Schmeagle
He's just
movie.
like-
Schmeagles. Yeah.
You sort of have his background in those movies.
Yeah. Yeah. The Barlin movie. Yeah, for the whole, and then the Dwalin movie. Just, they should have done what they did for the Avengers. Just have a movie for each of the dwarves and then team up for the Hobbit.
Because they got no bloody screen time in those Hobbit movies.
Some of them don't even have
I
lines.
know,
Yeah,
it's
that
so
annoys
sad.
me. Like Bomber has like one line in the second movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, ow.
They're
yeah,
in
it's like
these,
something
like,
like throwaway.
I don't even know if he does.
blockbuster
In the
movies and they
third
don't
movie, he
talk.
like opens his mouth and it's like a big moment, and he's just like, I sat on something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some jokey comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost my appetite.
There are so many movies that they could make. Thank God they don't make some of them.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of brought it up because there's like all these spin-offs that they're making for characters we don't want spin-offs
Yeah.
for.
Well, which is like what? Like your main one, I think you're great, was Bumblebee.
Well, Bumblebee, but there's also like Han Solo, which is
Oh,
like,
are they doing a Bumblebee spin-off?
yeah. We've mentioned this
Felix
on
is
the
buying
podcast
tickets.
before.
So I'm struggling yet.
You're into the. You haven't even seen the new Transformers yet, have you? You like Transformers. I hate it. How have I seen it and you haven't?
Because you secretly do like it.
I'm like, yes, give me more of this robot.
It's amazing.
Rubbish.
Slow motion mechanics.
I can't think of any sidekicks. Can anyone else? Otherwise, I think we might wrap up.
Let's wrap it up.
The Harley Quinn movie, I'd watch that.
Well, they're
I
making
could
Gotham
probably
City
watch-
Sirens, I think, which is all the chicks.
That could be good if they like learn
Yeah,
from
that's
their
cool.
mistakes. If they just
They
make a
won't
better
though,
film.
because it's David Ayer again, and I'm like, okay.
Dang.
They're making a Harley Quinn movie before they make a Slipknot movie.
Slipknot. So the Slipknot movie.
Slipknot movie.
You've got all the good ones. Slipknot movie. The Rocket and Groot.
I love
movie.
Rocket and Groot.
Rocket and Groot.
Slipknot would trump Rocket and Groot.
I think I actually want the Rocket and Groot movie. Like, that's not even like as a joke.
No. I can picture them doing that.
And it's
actually.
yeah, I can
me
picture
too.
that happening.
Like Guardians of
But
the
now that
Galaxy
they've all crossed over
0.5.
in Avengers 3, they could all it could be like Rocket, Groot, and like Tom Holland's Spider-Man or something. Like somebody else would just be
They
there.
could just pick and choose like who they want to
Yeah.
like throw into
Yeah,
it.
that'd be
Like,
cool.
Who's popular now?
The
But no,
Qui-Gon
I really
Jinn
like
movie.
Rocket Groot.
Felix wins again.
Rocket Groot.
Come
Yeah,
on,
you
done.
coming to
Well done,
coming to a
Felix.
theater near you.
Yeah, you pick up your prize after the show. Do you just dab?
Yeah, I watched this little
Oh
bird.
no.
I watched just before I came here. I was
my
watching
God.
this little video of a bird. Have you
Dabbing?
seen the bird? The bird that has like his.
Oh,
wings
with
go
like
over? It's
animated art. Oh, okay.
Oh
It's
no.
like so like dabbing's back.
I didn't want dabbing to ever be on this podcast. Like this podcast.
Just
is
cut it
real.
out.
That's
Yeah,
it.
cut it out.
Next thing
Just
was
Whole
like, they just
podcast's
spin it,
over.
yeah,
cut to
probably
black
cut it.
as I
No,
dab
I
it.
do want to shout out to a YouTuber that I've been following recently named Lindsay Ellis. She does awesome video essays. I think I was showing
You
you
did,
guys
yeah,
about
I
this.
haven't watched
She
it yet,
goes
sorry.
so in depth.
Jackson.
Wow.
So in depth, but for things like Transformers, like it's
Yeah.
amazing. She's like, say what you want about Michael Bay being a sexist. It's like, but from what we've learned, she's like, Michael Bay hates men just as much as he hates
Yeah.
women. Like she goes like, because it's like every guy in Transformers, every male protagonist and character is like insecure, is
Yeah.
always yelling, like is like sweaty and like is kind of a loser and like
Yeah,
doesn't
it's true.
earn anything, doesn't learn anything. Like there's no character arc. It's
Yeah.
like these men just suck. And then like Michael Bay's like it's like a weird representation of how he thinks his audience members are. He's like, these characters suck and you suck, like
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like
You're
it's-
gonna love
it's
it.
so weird. And then it's like, and then they're like, because in 4 Shia LaBeouf's not in it, and then in 5 they reference that Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf's character died. So it's like clearly Michael Bay has no respect for this character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're brilliant video essays. I think
That's
everyone
so
should check
true.
them out.
I'll
Anyway,
check them out,
Caitlin,
check
thank
them
you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caden.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
And thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Woo.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.
See you later.